694 Occultism Unleashed. Today we're gonna do this final forecast. I got on the red, even though it's a Sunday. It's a lot of Mars and Aries energy popping off. A lot of Mars and Aries energy popping off in the universe this year. Let me see if I can get these. Stop this light. 2025 is definitely going to be a year of, reckoning. A year of reckoning, man. We have a lunar eclipse in Aries at 9 degrees Aries, March 29th. Pluto goes retrograde May 4th. And then a little bit later, I think around the 14th of May, Ceres, that's Ceres, that goes, and that's like a dwarf planet too. It goes into the sign of Aries. Now, Ceres rules self-sufficiency, the rise of self-sufficiency. Aquarius is the sign of revolutions. Pluto is a planet that rules the use and abuse of power. So you're gonna see a lot of uprisings, political uprisings, and things of that nature that disrupt everyday life, and it's not just gonna be around the world, With Pluto moving into Aquarius, it says, a revitalization of the world, a big shift in the worldscape. And the old world is dying, the system is crumbling, and there are people who are going to fight tooth and nail to try to keep it alive, but there's nothing that they can really do about it. If they want to minimize the damage, then they can, change. And that's the only way that that is really going to work out, because we're jumping into a cosmic pressure cooker right now. And with Ceres going into Aries, it's going to make a lot of squares to the Cancer placements in the United States chart. Ceres, it rules agriculture and self-sufficiency and things like that. And with it going into the sign of Aries, I can tell you a lot of people are going to be, growing their own food. The people who made fun of the preppers and said that the preppers were crazy are going to wish they were prepping. There's going to be some, there's going to be some food shortages. There's going to be weather because, Aries is a fire sign. You can expect some dramatic shifts in climate that affect the growth of crops, not just in the United States, but around the world as well. Also, the pushback, because Aquarius is a humanitarian sign. It's a sign of, altruism and helping out your fellow human being. Because Pluto is in Aquarius, and you see, all the attacks on social programs, whether they're positive programs or negative programs, I'm agnostic when it comes to politics. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't mold or shape my reality. I'm one of them motherfuckers that mold reality. So I don't care about the political left, right, blue, green. I don't give a shit. The reality on the field. The reality on the field and the energy that the cosmos are putting forth is the universe telling us, hey, people are abusing their power. misusing their power, that's Pluto. And Pluto also deals with, the masses, how power is used to the masses. In the sign of Aquarius, they're not being humanitarian. They're taking advantage of people, trying to put all people in a box, whether it's immigrants, people who, got sexual preferences or racial preference, racial things, ethnic groups. They're not allowing people to be themselves, which the energy of Pluto and Aquarius requires. Now, it doesn't require you to agree with everybody, but it requires people to have the freedom to be themselves, and also for altruism and looking out for mankind. And that power is being abused, and people are trying to retrograde back into that Pluto and Capricorn energy where, we tell you what to do, and we know what's best for you, and you're going to do it, or we're going to discipline you. That energy ain't popping off no more. So Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius is going to say, have people, have humans adopted more altruistic, social, empowering principles, or have they been bullshitting? And it's going to ask, have they been using technology the right way? Because Aquarius also rules technology. You're also going to find that many charlatan astrologers get exposed as well, because people who have been abusing esoteric knowledge that corresponds with Aquarius, whether it's psychic ability, astrology, occultism in general. People have been abusing technology. The Pluto retrograde, you're going to find out. That's the reality of the situation. So we look over here at the chart. There's going to be war and between people and governments, not just countries and countries, but internal wars as well, between control and rebellion, because it's gonna that's that Pluto in Capricorn, the retrograde, because we're still in the very early degrees of Aquarius, within the first 5 degrees, probably less than 3 degrees of Aquarius we've entered, so it isn't even out the first decade. So that new energy that Pluto is trying to harness when it goes retrograde is showing that people are trying to cling to past ways of control and dictating things, man. And like I said, the realities in the cosmic field are not in favor of the people who want to try to continue to control things, if you get what I'm saying. Look for massive economic disruption, because Pluto will go retrograde in the United States' second house. Second house governs this nation's money, its wealth. Also in the values and morals and principles of the people of this nation. And, people are going to be forced to become self-sufficient. And a lot of people are going to rebel behind it, because what they thought they were going to get when they voted. And I'm politically agnostic. I don't care about Kamala, Obama, Trump, but I don't care about none of them. Please understand. People who thought they were going to get one thing when they voted aren't going to get what they were promised. And these people are the ones that are willing to cut up about what the fuck they said they were supposed to get. And they're going to cut up. They're going to cut up. When you look at the things that's going on politically, the tariffs and things like that, the deporting immigrants, this is also going to, create food shortages and supply chain disruptions. Those of you guys who follow me on Instagram as well, I've been, setting up shop. I got chickens, greenhouse up, everything. I've been getting ready. And when I say this is my final forecast, that's what it is. I won't be popping on this thing doing any videos or anything like that, you'll still get the, astrology reading daily for the free and on the love. People to take advantage of it, great. You don't, okay, that's cool for you, but I won't be putting time into this and into people anymore, because now time is of the essence, and I have no time to spare. My focus is on taking advantage of the opportunities that are going to come from this situation, and making sure that me and my family are secure. And that goes beyond my immediate family into my elders and things like that, aunts and uncles. I got to make sure they're straight too. So I don't have time to do the you should tap into your spiritual power. Are you tapping into your spiritual power? Here's the astrology forecast. Here's a discount on a cleanse. I don't got time to save and help everybody anymore. It's finna get tight out here. It's finna get tight out here, Jack. AI surveillance, digital warfare, intensifying with the Pluto and retrograde in Aquarius, because Aquarius rules AI and technology and all these things. Global unrest. It's not just going to be, localized conflicts and things like that. It's going to be some global problems. Now, this is, not years away. It's weeks away. Again, that Aries solar eclipse, that Aries lunar eclipse will happen the 29th of March. I think a solar eclipse happens earlier that month too, in Libra. And that's going to have to do with trust and justice and legal situations and contracts. And then the one in Aries is going to, spark up that war energy. But the beautiful thing, a lot of unrest is going to come. People are going to be challenging government institutions around the world like never before. And it's going to create a mass awakening, because certain things are going to happen in the field of war that people, people thought they would be able to, force Jesus to come back and shit like that. And when everything is, said and done, and nobody comes back, it's gonna shake the world up, Jack. It's gonna shake the world up, and a massive awakening is gonna come from that. A massive awakening. That lunar eclipse is gonna be at 9 degrees Aries on the 29th of March. This is going to ignite a lot of bold, individualistic energy. People want to take a leadership. People wanting to act. Look at your chart and see where you have 9 degrees Aries, what house it falls in. That's where that energy is going to affect you the most. Events that happen 7 to 10 days before and after the eclipse are usually fated events. They're things that are meant to happen. Any opportunities for you to break free, take a leadership role, you need to start preparing yourself for these things now. That's why I said look for the house where the eclipse falls in your natal chart. Aries don't ask, it takes. It takes, man. So think of all the aspects of war, and look at your life, and where can you become the general and take the lead? Where can you protect yourself from, emotional and psychological BS that doesn't really affect you, but you allow it to, distract you. Aries isn't just a sign about attack, it's also about defense and protection. So make sure that, leading up to this energy, you are, thinking of how you're going to protect yourself spiritually and mentally from all the adversity that you're going to see going on around you. And I highly recommend that you go follow the Mystic Temple 1111 page and listen to the lessons, because the Divine Mother Monica Bay predicted this before it even happened. going on 2 years now. That a year, I think, for Mystic Temple, or 2 years. But yeah, she dropped these predictions, man, and told us, it was going to be getting tight and right. But Ceres, it rules nourishment, agriculture, survival. Take responsibility for yourself. Take the initiative to make sure that you have, even if it's just canned goods. Stock up a little bit, man. Make sure you have stuff, man. Um, you're gonna see big expansions in the prepping and homesteading movements. Uh, People willing to grow their own food, develop some survival skills, and kind of kick to the curb the protected way of life where everything is provided for you and you becoming capable of surviving on yourself. So, if you're a business owner or entrepreneur in the prepping or homesteading space, look for opportunities to, grow financially, teach other people what you know, and charge for the knowledge that you have. Um, Also, because Ceres requires self-sufficiency, you are going to see a lot of governments around the world cutting off social programs. All that babysitting you and breastfeeding, feeding you, that savior type government, you're going to see a lot of it being cut out and cut away. You know, Not just here in the United States, but all over the world. Um, because a lot of things are going to be popping behind the scenes. They're not going to making sure you survive isn't a priority over their government surviving, or their government's 100-year plan surviving. You gotta understand, like losing a couple citizens, collateral damage, you're expendable, et cetera, et cetera. And that's why the things with AI are exploding right now. you know they're quantum leaping on that because they understand the state of the world, and how it's going to go, and they need to make sure that their machines, their businesses, and things like this can function regardless of if humans can keep their obligations or not. Excuse me. But it's going to be a lot more warrior energy popping off as well. Once people see that nobody's coming to save them, it's going to be a lot of warrior energy popping off. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius again, mass exposure to AI, surveillance agendas, a lot coming out about governments using AI and algorithms within, social media platforms, including this one. Uh, them manipulating your mindset and public opinion through these channels with artificial intelligence. A lot of stuff is going to get exposed, man. You're going to see leaks and hacks and public outrage, outcry, uh, digital rebellion and cyber attacks. Uh, a lot of these tech giants, you're going to see them crumble. You're going to see them crumble. Scandals, lawsuits, backlash. It's coming. It's coming. Um, you're going to see a lot of leverage in AI to try to monitor and control people behavior, and it's going to be a lot of resistance to that, man. Uh, great digital reckoning for Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, man. And it's going to be retrograde from May till like November. So the thing for you is to ask yourself, are you controlling technology, or is technology controlling you? Big question, man. Are you controlling technology, or is technology controlling you? Um, Pluto retrograde plus, the Ceres and Aries, we have an opportunity for financial transformation of the world or economic collapse. If, war is provoked in the Middle East, there will be a global economic collapse. I guarantee you that. I guarantee it. If people choose to leverage technology and crypto, uh, build economies, and bartering systems, decentralized financial systems are gonna gain traction, man. You're gonna see a lot of changes, man, and people building farming collectives for their neighborhoods and stuff due to government aid getting cut off. You're about to see some profound transformations, and humans starting to perform at a higher level of consciousness, not necessarily because they care about each other, but because the circumstances in the world gonna force you to love people. It's gonna force you to get along. It's gonna force you to create collectives and communities, that Pluto and Aquarius energy, that allow you guys to thrive as a strong unit. I'm telling you. This month, the US has to refinance almost $10 trillion in debt. Almost $10 trillion in debt. And you're gonna see, because Pluto rules debt. It rules Scorpio, the eighth house of debt and loans and other people's money. You're gonna see, it rules financial power and hidden money games, and you're gonna see, man, a lot of banking fraud, hidden wealth hoarding, and falling, crippling of several foreign currencies. And you're gonna see, the currency of the United States take some heavy slaps. The only thing that's good about the currency of the United States is they can print as much as they want. They can print as much as they want as long as they can tax people to, on paper. And it doesn't mean people have to be alive to pay the taxes. They print it and say, we're going to get this much money from taxes, because taxes is how the government makes money to pay its bills. Taxes and weapon sales and shit. Negative shit. But altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Solana, Cardano, all these, digital currencies are going to do good. Even more than those ones. And smaller, what they call meme tokens are going to do well as well, because people are going to use those from person-to-person transactions to pay for, services or products that might be, created. Expect a rise in digital nomadism, freelance work, off the grid living is coming. People are going to abandon traditional jobs, find ways to make money outside of the system and thrive on their own. If you depend entirely on the system, you're going to struggle, and it's going to be a painful struggle. If you create multiple streams of income, learn new skills, be resourceful, you'll thrive. In the midst of chaos, you'll thrive, but you have to use Pluto's transformative energy to adapt and really, take responsibility for your future. War, conflict, mass rebellion, that's the Aries eclipse. And Pluto retrograde, following that eclipse, that deals with power struggles, unfinished business, like a real pressure cooker for the world. Expect new wars, military escalations. Aries rules war. Pluto rules war as well, because it also is connected. It's the higher octave of Aries. It's the ruler of death, mass death, nuclear weapons. Pluto rules all that shit. all that shit, you know. Together they going, you know, some ignite some military clashes, border tensions, and escalate, you know, instability. Expect to see a lot of guerrilla warfare, unconditional warfare, grassroots rebellions, uh, as governments try to tighten their grip on people and use technology and shit like that. More people are gonna rebel. You know, Pluto and Aquarius. That's, you can use technology to empower people, or you can use it to manipulate and control people, or dictate people. um, People are going to be fighting for control over themselves, not just, you know, control over their data, but control over their bodies, their food supply, and things like that. And the world will become more chaotic. The world will become more chaotic, but also more honest, because people who play behind the scenes and manipulated and finessed, a lot of these things are being exposed, you know, and the illusions of peace and stability are going to be replaced by raw truth. That's the reality on the field, you know. So my final message to you for 2025: this is a test of your power, your survival, and your evolution. As I look at the charts of different nations, you know, one thing is clear: the weaker struggle and the stronger rise. And the ones that appear strong are not always the ones who are strong. The ones who prove to be resourceful, you know, adaptable, will be the ones who thrive. Um, Ceres and Aries, it says stop relying on broken systems, become self-sufficient. You know, Pluto retrograde and Aquarius say the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. Are you ready to see it? Are you ready to see it? And the Aries eclipse says, you know, this is your revolution. Whatever house it falls in your chart, that's where your revelation, your personal revolution needs to take place. You know, your first house, it means personal physical transformation. You know, how you present yourself to the world, it needs to be, you need to take responsibility for how the world sees you. The second house, you're talking about, you know, your wealth and your values, transforming the things that affect your self-worth. Third house, your mindset, you know, your communication, your thinking style, your community. Fourth house, your home, your family, you know, the issues that you had with your dad and burdens that you carried from your childhood home. Time to fix. It's your revolution. You either gonna stay a victim to your past, or you gonna transform and boot up and define who you're gonna be. Take leadership in your life. That's what that Aries eclipse is about. Whatever house is falling in your chart, that's the area of your life you need to take leadership. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna get out of here. As of tomorrow, I'll no longer be performing any services at Red Claw Conjure. You can click the link in the description of the video and join the Venus Aligned Society. That's where I'm going to be, you know, sharing all the astrology forecasts, wisdom, you know, spells, manifestations, you know, to help you create a life that has more pleasure than pain, because pleasure is ruled by Venus. Help you cultivate your personal magnetism, because how you attract and what you attract is governed by Venus. You want to get Venus aligned and bring more pleasure in your life, satisfaction, you know, see yourself for who you really are, because the symbol of Venus is a hand mirror. Click the link in the description and join the Venus Aligned Society. You want to step your magical game up, learn about your spiritual power, everything from mediumship to astral travel and things that you never thought you could imagine. There's a link down below in the description of the video to join Mystic University. I love y'all, man. And that is the final forecast.